Hello everyone and welcome to another new video and continuing with the financial education series. Today we are going to learn a new indicator and the indicator is called Chaikin Money Flow indicator. Now before we can proceed with the details, I would request you to kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel if you've not done yet, and please do not forget to press the bell icon. Besides that, you're going to find a few links. Make sure you join my Telegram group because that's the place where you're going to get most of the updates. And the final thing is the disclaimer: I'm not a financial advisor. As such, I would request you to kindly do your own due diligence before making any investments. So let's move ahead and understand what a Chaikin money flow indicator is. So I've already covered an extensive video on how to use investing.com. So for any users, if you don't know how to go and locate these indicators, you can watch my video how to use investing.com. So you just need to go to the indicators section over here and type in Chaikin money flow. You're going to see two things: oscillator and money flow. So we're going to choose Chaikin money flow. So by default, this is what it is there, and let's support it with another EMA. So just for the trend, and let's change these settings to 200 EMA. So this gives us basically a trend where, okay, here it comes. Okay, so this is a trend indicator, 200 EMA. So we know whether the script is in a buy or a sell. It's in a bear zone, bull zone, etc. So I've just made it a little bold so we understand, and then we go to the Chaikin money flow. Now this is a typical 200 EMA is something which I normally practice using because that is a major trend indicator and a trend reversal indicator too. So it always serves as a guideline. Everyone uses different. You might be using 20, 50, 200, but 200 is supposed to be one of the most reliable ones. Hence, I prefer using 200, although I do use 20, 50, hundreds also. So coming to the Chaikin money flow indicator, let's just format it to make it a little bold. So I'll make this again blue and bold over here. Then the center line, I'll just make it red and prominent so we can see the crossovers. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so we have highlighted this over here. The basic settings, if you see over here, will be 20. So I'll explain to you how you can sort of tweak it a little bit here and there if you think that helps you. So what is basically a Chaikin money flow indicator? Chaikin money flow indicator, friends, is was in fact developed by stock analysis called Mark Chaikin. Now it is basically a volume weighted average of accumulation and distribution over a specific period. So how do we use the Chaikin money flow indicator basically? So you've seen here that we have two lines and the period here we have selected is 20. We're discussing about the periods. The period what we have selected here is 20. So how do we typically use it is we have made two lines, a blue and a red. So the zone, the values range from 0 to 1 on the positive and 0 to -1. So whenever the Chaikin money flow, the line crosses the 0 here, the red line, you're going to take a buy call. And whenever it goes down in the negative zone, it makes a crossover, you're going to take a sell zone. Now here we can see the values are 20. Now this can be changed a little bit. If you make it over 20, let's just to show you, you can see the difference in the graph. Let's say I'm choosing it as 30. So the graphs becomes a little bit smoother. It becomes less sensitive and less prone to noise. So it will give you lesser entry signals and lesser uh, sort of false signals over here, less false signals. But if you want to tweak it or make it on the faster side, and let's say I'm choosing something below or 20, let's say 15. So what's going to happen? It's going to give you a lot of noise, probably a lot of false signals. So typically, I always would recommend, to sort of leave the indicator to the default settings as it is, because obviously when these indicators have been developed and stuff, the creators have taken the pain and they have come down to this figure after a lot of due diligence. So, why change something, which we are not professional, or we don't have the expertise to, or, but the things I've shown you, just because some traders or some people have, like if you see a smoother line, they are much more in control. So that's the reason I've shown you. So typically, I would say don't change the settings. And now let's see this in action actually. And just one thing which I would like to tell is, typically, whenever you're trading using any indicator, like here, how I'm using the moving average as a guideline. Typically, I would suggest, anytime to take two or three indicators, because that gives you a sort of idea, but never take more than three to like five indicators, six indicators, because those are going to give you contradictory signals. So never basically trade on one kind of what do you call them, indicators. You need to have at least, two three confirmations, so that you get the best entries, and don't go over three, like four five indicators, because those are going to give you contradictory signals. So although I have chosen CMF over here, I've introduced the EMA over here. You could probably add a RSI to this combination to get it a more better result. So why I've chosen the 200 EMA is basically, this will give me a major trend. This thing above 200 is typically is where I'm going to buy. Above below 200 sort of sell. So just at random we will move and check out the entry position. I'm just scrolling it at any random position and I'm stopping it. Okay, so we can see over here that here, let's say the first position over here, you can see there's a big crossover over here. So obviously this is the place where we probably need to buy. But as I told you, since the 200 EMA is below this, probably I won't be taking, and it would be recommended not to take a buy call over here, because your candles formations are way down below the 200 EMA. So, but this is sort of giving you the best entry. You can see, you can take all of this. So typical entry where I would suggest, or a safer entry, or rather, what instead of I would say, is somewhere here. Yeah, this is above and the candle has crossed. So this would sort of give you, save you from any reversal which probably would happen. But as you can see, for kind of aggressive traders, they would take an entry over here, and for conservative, or people who want to ensure that you take an entry, you would ensure that you take an entry above this. So here it has already given you a buy signal over here. So you see, you could have made a good from 440 to around 460. It has given you a profit. So we're going to move over here. So I would recommend to use this only for your entry, not for your exits. So then we move over here, and you see that there is a false breakout over here, and that is why I'm talking about using a additional indicator. Now, since I know that it's above 200, the candles are plotting above 200 EMA. I know that the sentiments are bullish. So just on some minor movement, I'm not going to sort of take a sell call over here, because here the momentum is bullish. So we're going to wait and see over here. These are all bull calls. So whenever there's a kind of a drop over here and it starts moving on top, you can take a fresh buy call. Like you see here, there's a drop, it's moving ahead, so you can take a call over here, buy call, so you'd enjoy this rally. Now again there is a drop over here. So when it starts reversing again, because all these are above the zero line over here, so what you're going to be taking is only buy calls. So I'm not going to take the sell calls over here. So right now you can see there's a huge kind of a drop over here. The market is still bullish, so probably I will not take a sell call, but if I have a long trade, like I have sort of entered over here and I have a long trade which is gone, which is in profits, I will probably start taking booking my profits because I can see a sort of a weakness happening over here. So I would rather book my profits over here or keep some nominal positions open because here we can see it's moved down considerably. So let's see how it moves ahead further, and it's still in sort of a consolidation zone, and now the candle in itself is also moving down. So this is sort of a no trade zone for me because both are kind of contradictory. Of course they are sort of like, if yeah, candles are moving down, but and the CMF is also showing a downward trend. But it is somewhat like this entry, you could have taken a sell call over here since the candles are also moving down. But since there is a huge gap between the moving average and the uh, candles, basically, I expect there is still to be some bullish momentum, although it has weakened over here. So obviously, I'm not going to take a sell trade until we see CMF moving off, the candles plotting again. Overall, is a bullish trend, but neither am I going to take a sell call. So this is somewhat a no trade kind of a zone for me. So let's move ahead, and you see that it's going up, down, up, down. So I wouldn't sort of take any trades over here. Now here there is a gap up opening. The trend is bullish. So yes, I would take a buy call over here. And you see we are still moving up. So you see this is how you're going to move on. Now let's go and try and search for a sort of negative entries where would probably go and take negative calls. So let's see where the market is going in a bear phase. Okay, for some reasons, the 200 EMA is taking time to plot. Okay, so we have seen buy entries, like how can you take sort of sell entries over here? Now here we see that the candles are plotting below the 200 EMA, and the CMF is on top. So if we are considering the same rules, I wouldn't be taking a sell call over here. There is still a bounce. So at this position, I will take a sell call. So at this candle, I will take a sell call. So I have told you, you have to take it as an entry signal. So here I'm going to take a sell call. There is always a bit of a reversal, but it moves in the direction. So you can see it moves ahead. Now here it has come down again. Now here would be another sell position. So it moves down. It kind of recovers on top. Now when I want to take a fresh sell call, I will take when it starts taking reversal. So I will take another sell call over here. So you can see it moves ahead slowly downward, and then there is a drop over here. So again it starts moving on top. It has crossed the line, but just I had mentioned to you, now CMF is giving you a buy indicator, but the trend, you can see there's a gap up over here. So the trend is the sentiments are still negative. So these two are contradictory signals. So I'm not going to take, I'm going to wait for either the candles to plot above them or for this CMF to move down. So I can take a sell call. So you see here. So as I told you, see, probably if you had to just go by the CMF over here, you would take a buy call over here. Yes, it has moved slightly, but then it has moved down. But since we have not taken that, we have taken a second confirmation. We are saved from there. And here is a position where I can take a sell entry and I can enjoy this profits. So this way, friends, you can use the CMF indicator. You can also sort of, as I told you, you can add a third indicator, kind of a stochastic, or RSI indicator to combine and get more consistency, get more kind of results over here. So you get it better. So one thing I would always recommend is CMF or any other indicator. Please do not use it in isolation. Always make sure that you use a combination of the same. So I hope you love this video for users who have not used the CMF or didn't know how to use a Chaikin Money Flow indicator. I'm sure you know now how to go about using it. And do let me know your feedbacks in the comment section whether I have been able to help you learn something new, whether you love this video, you hated this video, and if you didn't like this video, why you didn't like it. Please let me know everything in the comment section. And if you think I have added some value to you, please do like this video, share this across. And before signing off, a humble request: if you have not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, I would request you to kindly do so now. So until the next video, take care and be safe.